Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Friends Talking Nerdy. This is Tim Jousma coming at you solo right here. The day I record this is the day that the movie The Many Saints of Newark hits both theaters and HBO Max. And being a longtime fan of The Sopranos, I thought, why not give you folks my thoughts? So before we go into it, just want to talk a little bit about The Sopranos. Of course, it's an HBO show created by David Chase. David Chase has a long history in television. He even wrote and directed some episodes of The Rockford Files in the 70s. So he's been through the ups and downs in television for many, many decades. So when it comes to quality stuff with his name on it, you can't go wrong. And anybody who's seen The Sopranos, of course, knows how good that show is. I mean, it's able to kind of take the weird anti-hero worship that people have for the mafia, but add similar to what you got in movies like The Godfather and whatnot, but add realistic type elements to it that makes it more relatable to audiences. Even like last night, I'd put the pilot of the show back on, and it's still just as good today as it was back then. And if you think about it, that is kind of rare for TV shows from that long ago. Even something like 24. If you look at their preview episode from 2001 and you watch that today, it looks quaint. It's not the big espionage, the big action piece that I remember where everything was expansive. You feel the TV sets, whereas in The Sopranos you do not. But while we got the professor here, the professor is grabbing some clothes because as we record this, she is preparing for class tonight. That's the start of the semester today.
It is indeed.
So you're definitely excited to get back to class. But any quick words? I know we got just a moment of your time. Any quick words about The Sopranos?
I never watched The Sopranos.
Was it just you never got around to it, or you knew that this would be something you would not like?
I assumed that it would be similar to the Godfather movies, which I did not like.
I'm glad you mentioned that, and I did mention in the intro here, and then once I wrap you up, you can go because you got to get busy. I like that they did take the anti-hero worship that the Godfather had, but added realistic elements to it. It shows, in my opinion, the effects of that type of life. It does not glorify it.
I see what you're saying. But certainly there was lots of heartache and despair in the Godfather movies as well.
True, but at the end of the day, it was still, trying to, even though the latter movies kind of showed the breakdown of Michael Corleone, the first movie was definitely Michael's the hero of the story, even though he gets evil by the end of the story.
Yeah, okay.
So, anyway, get ready for class and good luck.
Thank you.
Everybody at home, if you're listening now, say, good luck, Professor! Anyway. So, like I mentioned, Sopranos, one hell of a show here. I mean, much smarter people than I have written many good books or made many great documentaries about the show. So, all I will say is if you have an HBO Max subscription, even if it's just the free trial, make sure you check out The Sopranos. So, The Many Saints of Newark here is a prequel to The Sopranos, and some of the casting definitely has me intrigued here. Like Edie Falco, who played Tony Soprano's wife in the show, apparently is playing Tony Soprano's mother in the prequel, which kind of gives some new subtext to the show that may not have been there before. Now, again, that subtext may mean nothing based on the movie that I'm about to see here momentarily, but maybe there's a very good reason for her being cast in that role. So I've also heard some interesting things about what to potentially expect in the opening of the movie, but I'm excited. So if you are a fan of The Sopranos, kick back, relax, go to HBO Max, or most importantly, if you are comfortable doing so, we are still in the middle of a pandemic, people, go to your local movie theater and watch this movie. What we are going to do right now is cut to a quick musical interlude. When we come back, I will give you my thoughts on the Many Saints of Newark. All right, we are back. I am wrapped up with the movie right now, and we're going to give you some pros and cons. I'm going to try and be spoiler-free as possible here. With the pros, this is the absolute perfect epilogue to The Sopranos that could ever be made. I mean, wow. Absolute perfection of a movie. If you have seen The Sopranos, you are gonna just absolutely love this movie. If only for the last scene alone. What a wow. Funny scene there, but just overall really well done. Lots of nods to the show. Funny enough, that little bit that I mentioned about Edie Falco with her casting, about it being a little Oedipus-like. Yeah, they kind of follow up on that. Not too much, but they do kind of follow up on that. And for folks that have watched the show over a long time, again, you're going to see lots of little nods here and there, and you're going to see an interesting little twist in terms of the Tony Soprano, Christopher Moltisanti relationship in the movie. But having said that, let's go to the cons here. The cons, the big one is that, honestly, I think, if I am being honest, that there is too much in the movie that the viewer has to already know in order to really understand it. What do I mean? You have to have watched The Sopranos to really get everything in this movie. I could be wrong. If there are people listening to this right now that have watched The Many Saints of Newark and have not watched The Sopranos and really enjoyed this movie, definitely follow up with me. You can follow up at FTNerdy or at Tim Jousma on Twitter, and let me know what you think there. I'm just giving you my opinion here. I do think that a lot of the story is based on what you already know about The Sopranos. Now, having said that, The Sopranos has been a big show for a long time. In a lot of ways, it's similar, not equal to, but similar to like Superman and whatnot in terms of, I think a lot of people these days, even if you've only watched a couple episodes of The Sopranos, you kind of get the gist of what's going on. So, it's, people get it, but still you need to, there are some things here that you're not going to understand if you didn't watch the show. So having said that, the show is on HBO Max right now. It is a classic for a reason. One of my absolute favorite TV shows of all time. You definitely have to see it. As far as this movie goes, a couple standouts. Edie Falco, wow, she is one hell of an actress. I mean, if you get a chance to see her in a movie, just watch it. She did absolutely great in this movie, and her casting was absolutely perfect. Michael Gandolfini, James Gandolfini's son, is Tony Soprano. With the last scene alone, it's really going to pull at the heartstrings. Let's put it that way. But he does a good job there. Ray Liotta, of course, is in the movie, as you folks have seen in the trailer. Does a great job in the movie. But just overall, watch The Sopranos first. If you have not seen any of The Sopranos, I don't know if you're going to really enjoy The Many Saints of Newark as much as you would if you have. So if you have not seen The Sopranos yet, watch it first, but then watch this movie, because overall this movie is one hell of a film. So thank you all for listening. We will catch you all next time.
Subscribe to Friends Talking Nerdy on iTunes, the Google Play Music Store, as well as Spotify. Remember to support Friends Talking Nerdy on Patreon. Goodbye, darling.